Good to know. September 12th. Get out there and vote. Do your part, because if not, some stuff is going to go down.
If you don't vote at all, it's still, it's the same as I don't know, if you're against whoever is running or trying to replace him, that's the same as giving them a vote, basically.
Yeah, so don't be lazy. Get out there. Please do it.
It's really simple, guys. If you have those ballots that came in, I know everyone got them within this last week because I had to deliver all those shits in the mail. So if you don't want to go out and take it to a polling location, all you have to do is put it in your outgoing mail. Put your flag up on your mailbox, or put it, if you're in an apartment complex or condos or whatever, put it in the little outgoing box, and your mailman will pick it up the next day.
Don't forget, do your part. Moving on, Kevin Smith has started production on Clerks 3, and there has been no leaks or updates until now. I think this past week we got an updated cast picture of what everybody looks like now, compared to...
Yeah, they're looking a little bit older.
Yeah, compared to Clerks 2. I will say this, Rosario Dawson looks like she has not aged at all, somehow.
Yeah, what the hell are you taking?
Good genes. I'm very excited. I know some people don't care for Clerks 2. I don't know how you could be a fan of Kevin Smith and not like Clerks 2, but hey, that's just me. Clerks 3, I think, is gonna be very, very cool. And then I think he's also working on a Mallrats sequel as well, if I'm not mistaken. As long as that hasn't been kind of derailed. I think it's called The Twilight of the Mallrats or something like that. I think we talked about it once before.
That's gonna be cool. I love Mallrats.
Yeah.
And Clerks. I love Clerks too.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see the reunion, or Kevin Smith kind of returning to his roots, so to speak, I guess.
Yeah,
and
that'd
then
be cool.
In my final piece of news, something that I think you'll be very interested in and excited about, if you haven't already read this, HBO Max is on track to become the new home for the Evil Dead franchise, as the films will all be available on the service starting September 1st, with the new show Evil Dead Rise being an exclusive as well.
Oh, I did not know that. Wow, that's awesome. That is pretty cool. For the show, is anyone coming back for that, or is it kind of like a reboot? Or a continuation?
I think it's its own thing. That was the big kind of shocker. I think I might have talked about it on one of Chris's takeover episodes, but it's kind of telling the story about these sisters, and they I think they go to what is it, like some kind of family reunion, and then the Deadites basically crash the reunion, and so obviously details are scarce. That's a very kind of vague plot line, but I'll give it a chance. The artwork is pretty cool for it. It is being again produced by Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi, so they have to have something cool up their sleeves, I would think.
I would love to see just like a little cameo of Ash.
We'll
just
see.
To have him in there for a second, that'd be cool. I love his character. It just kills me that he's not going to be in it. I mean, I don't know if he's not going to be in it or not, but it just kills me to think that he's not a part of it visually, like us seeing him on the screen.
From what I know, the cancellation of Ash vs. Evil Dead caused him to hang up his hat as Ash indefinitely. I don't think anything has changed for like his how do you say, like his decisions for live action, but he did do all the voice acting for the upcoming Evil Dead game, and he said that he never said that he wouldn't portray Ash in different aspects. He's just not going to physically play him anymore. As the guy's, obviously getting older and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so the game is coming out soon, and it actually looks pretty good. So I hope that one is good as well. But yeah, HBO Max, the new home for Evil Dead.
That's cool. That's awesome.
And that'll wrap up news for this week.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
And we will move into our weekly recommendations. What do you have for me, James?
Well, I haven't watched too much lately. Been working like every day. But what I have been watching a little bit here and there is HBO documentary series called, it's a sports documentary series. It's called Hard Knocks, and basically they follow along one specific football team in the NFL throughout the whole preseason. So you get to see kind of the behind the scenes of what or how a player gets to like the regular season. Basically, you get to see they actually show them releasing players and firing coaches and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see that aspect of the football world and NFL. It's kind of heartbreaking to see these guys go through all this training and stuff during the summer and spring training and things like that, and then to have them get called into the office and say, "Hey, we're gonna have to let you go. Sorry about that, buddy. Good luck for you. Good luck in your future. And we'll put a good word in for you if anybody asks, how you are." That's basically how it goes, and they're released like that. So it's pretty gut wrenching to see that kind of stuff. And but I enjoy seeing this behind the scenes stuff, so it kind of makes football a little more interesting that way. And then a really weird documentary that I ended up watching. I believe it's on. If you have Apple TV, you can watch it for free. I don't know if it's specifically on there only, but it was they followed the singer Billie Eilish or Eilish. I don't know how to say her last name. And it's like her concert tour, and they showed basically her whole, I think it was all of last year or something like that, before COVID, pre-COVID. And it was pretty interesting. I didn't listen to her at all really before. I've heard her on like commercials and stuff like that. But it was pretty cool just to see the same thing, like the background, what goes on behind the scenes for concerts and things like that. And I'm sure a lot of the artists now have these type of documentaries going around, but it was pretty cool, and it actually made me made me like her because she's just like at the time I think she was like 17 or something, but going through like a breakup and stuff like that, and dealing with anxiety through concerts and touring and all that stuff, and having to deal with all that teenage stuff is pretty hectic, and I commend her for sticking around and doing it. So
I rec this a couple months ago. I want to say it's called Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Blurry.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that one too. Specifically, I think it does bring you into her world and make you understand why people like her as much as they do, or why she's like the phenomenon that she is, because she has all of this. I had no
idea. Like her brother basically writes all of her music.
Yeah, from their bedroom.
Produces everything. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, from she won all those Grammys and everything from a record that was essentially written and composed in their bedroom, like at their regular ass home. So, like she says in the documentary, like anything is fucking real, like possible in the world. You could do it anything with hard work. But yeah, and shout out to her brother, who does not get the recognition that he deserves for how much like I feel like how much he contributes, to
like how famous she is. From how famous she is, nobody really knows who he is unless you're like a super fan of hers,
yes,
or you've seen the documentary. You wouldn't know who he was. And he can sing pretty good too. He has a pretty good voice, and you hear a little bit of it throughout the movie. But yeah, I mean, kudos to them for doing that. It was a really cool thing to watch. And like I said, I like watching the behind the scenes type of stuff, especially in any type of movie, because I like to see how things are made, and you get a little glimpse of the behind the curtain, basically. But those two things are my recs. So Hard Knocks and the Billie Eilish special.
Very nice, man. So I just have one for you, and it's kind of referencing a little conversation we had last week on the Heavyweights episode. So I went and I gave Don't Breathe 2 a shot in the theater.
Ooh.
And much to my surprise, I really enjoyed it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and I think you will. I think you will too, because I know your style, and and I can't spoil anything for our listeners or for you, since I really doubt you've seen it yet. But yeah, Stephen Lang is great. I will say this: I think the trailer deceives us as to where the film is going on purpose, and I was pleasantly surprised by how the film actually turns out. And considering how, I don't know if you remember how the first Don't Breathe is shot in a very specific way. The cinematography is done a very specific way, so you know what you're watching, you can recognize it.
Yeah.
And this one, although it was not directed by Fede Alvarez of Evil Dead and the first Don't Breathe, he co-wrote this one, but his screenplay co-writer, whose name escapes me right now, this was his directorial debut, but he kept it very authentic to what the first Don't Breathe style was, as far as cinematography and the tone and the color palette and just even the acting styles. It felt like a very authentic sequel, and kind of made me a believer in it. And I was glad that I went to see it in the theater, because it's pretty good. It's pretty decent and fun and surprising. A lot of crazy shit happens. A lot of crazy deaths.
I'll have to check it out, because I would imagine there's some pretty crazy stuff in that one.
So Don't Breathe 2. And it came out for Friday the 13th, so I wanted to celebrate Friday the 13th in that way and go see a horror movie. And I believe that was the only horror movie that was released for it. So I'm glad it was a pretty good one.
Nice.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
All right, so it was my pick this week. I wanted to talk about a film that means a lot to me. It came out just last year, and it's Promising Young Woman. It's rated R. It's from 2020. It's a drama thriller. It runs at 1 hour and 54 minutes, and it's got a smooth 90 on Rotten.
Nice. Very nice.
It's written and directed by Emerald Fennell, starring Alison Brie, Laverne Cox, Adam Brody, Jennifer Coolidge, Clancy Brown, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, Max Greenfield, Connie Britton, Molly Shannon, Alfred Molina, Sam Richardson, Bo Burnham, and of course, Carey Mulligan. What a cast. What a cast in this.
Yeah, jam-packed.
Alright, so the film centers around Cassie, a 30-something-year-old female who is struggling with her own traumatic past and has adopted her own brand of vigilantism. When an unexpected new love interest enters the picture, Cassie must choose between a seemingly normal existence or avenging the memory of her best friend once and for all. Promising Young Woman is the directorial debut of filmmaker Emerald Fennell, with the concept being finalized in 2017 and the script being sold to Margot Robbie's production company, which led to the casting process and production taking place in LA and the Pomona area in 2019. Unfortunately, the movie was one of many to be shuffled around through the mist of the pandemic and was quietly released in December of 2020. Obviously not making